Let me ask you something right out of the gate. How does a franchise built on tradition, loyalty, and the banner of America's team end up turning Christmas week into one of the coldest moments of its modern era? Because that's exactly what unfolded in Dallas, and Cowboys Nation is still trying to process it. The Dallas Cowboys, the most valuable and most scrutinized franchise in the NFL, found themselves at the center of a story that goes far beyond wins and losses. This one hits on culture, communication, and the human side of football. And at the heart of it all is Trevon Diggs. Picture the scene. Christmas week. The Cowboys on the road, facing a familiar NFC East rival, the Washington Commanders, in Landover, Maryland. A holiday game, national attention, emotions running high. For many players, especially veterans, these moments carry extra weight, not just as professionals, but as fathers, sons, and family men. Diggs, a Maryland native, saw a rare opportunity. After the game, with days off already scheduled, he requested permission to stay back briefly to spend time with his family before returning to Dallas. By all accounts, Diggs wasn't asking to skip work. He reportedly told head coach Brian Schottenheimer that he'd catch the next flight once the team landed back in Texas. A short detour. A human request. Christmas, after all, is supposed to be about family, right? The answer was no. And here's where the story takes a turn that feels almost cinematic in its irony. Just days later, the Cowboys announced they were releasing Trevon Diggs. Let that sink in. A franchise that prides itself on discipline and structure denied a simple holiday request, only to cut the player days later anyway. Around the league, that raised eyebrows. Around Cowboys Nation, it sparked frustration. And for Diggs himself, it likely felt like the final confirmation that his relationship with the organization had reached a breaking point. Now, let's slow this down and really break it apart, because this isn't just about one decision. This is about timing, trust, and the direction of a team trying to redefine itself in the middle of a turbulent season. Diggs entered the league with massive expectations. Drafted by Dallas, he quickly became one of the most talked about cornerbacks in football. Ball hawk. Swagger. Confidence. The kind of defensive back who changes how quarterbacks read the field. At his peak, he wasn't just covering receivers, he was baiting elite passers into mistakes. That's rare. That's valuable. But football is unforgiving. Injuries don't care about reputation, and momentum can vanish in a heartbeat. This season, Diggs missed half the campaign after suffering a concussion in a home accident. When he did play, he appeared in 8 games, finishing with 25 tackles and, notably, 0 interceptions. For a player known for takeaways, that stat jumps off the page. Still, context matters. Cornerback is one of the most mentally demanding positions in the sport. You're isolated. Every mistake is magnified. You're reacting to elite athletes at full speed, often with no safety net. And when injuries disrupt rhythm and confidence, it can take time to find that edge again. From the Cowboys' perspective, this season has been about recalibration. The offense, led by Dak Prescott, has shown flashes but struggled with consistency. Prescott, the face of the franchise, continues to shoulder enormous pressure, statistically productive, yet constantly measured against postseason expectations that date back decades. On the outside, CeeDee Lamb remains the engine of the passing game, a dynamic playmaker capable of flipping momentum in an instant. Defensively, Micah Parsons is still the heartbeat, relentless, explosive, and feared by offensive coordinators every single week. But football isn't just about stars. It's about cohesion. It's about belief. And when trust erodes between a player and an organization, performance almost always follows. Around league circles, insiders have quietly suggested that Diggs' relationship with the Cowboys had been strained for months. Communication issues, differing expectations, a sense that both sides were no longer aligned. The Christmas denial, in that light, feels less like an isolated decision and more like the final chapter of a story already nearing its end. And yet, the optics matter. This is the Dallas Cowboys, the franchise of Tom Landry's stoic leadership, the team of Roger Staubach's calm under pressure, the dynasty built by Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, and Michael Irvin, men who defined professionalism and accountability while still being embraced as human beings. Cowboys fans remember those glory days vividly. 5 Super Bowl titles. The iconic star. AT&T Stadium, Jerry World, standing as both a monument to ambition and a reminder of expectations. This is a franchise that lives under a microscope, where every move is dissected, debated, and remembered. So when news broke that Diggs was released just days after that Christmas request, the reaction was immediate. Social media lit up. Fans questioned the front office's tone. Analysts debated whether the Cowboys were sending a message or simply mishandling a delicate situation. From Diggs' perspective, the release might actually feel like freedom. Once he clears waivers, he's eligible to sign with any team before Week 18. And make no mistake, teams will call. Playoff-bound squads are always looking to bolster their secondary. A former All-Pro cornerback, even one coming off an uneven season, represents upside. Experience. Playoff-tested confidence. One league executive was overheard saying, "If Diggs' head is right, he can help someone in January." That's not a small endorsement. For Dallas, though, the implications linger. This move isn't just about roster management. It's about identity. Are the Cowboys becoming colder? More transactional? Or is this simply the hard reality of a league where availability and production outweigh sentiment? Here's where it gets really interesting. The Cowboys are still navigating life in the NFC East, a division defined by grudges, physicality, and long memories. The Eagles, Giants, and Commanders all circle Dallas on the calendar. Every internal decision echoes louder because rivals are always watching. And Cowboys Nation? They're torn. Some fans argue this was necessary. Time to move on, reset the culture, focus on the future. Others see it as another example of a franchise that struggles with player relationships in critical moments. Let's be honest. This isn't the first time Dallas has faced criticism for how it handles star players. And it won't be the last. That's the burden of being America's team. Every move becomes a referendum. Looking ahead, the questions only multiply. How does this affect the locker room? What message does it send to veterans about communication and respect? And how does the secondary adjust without a player who, at his best, could change games with a single read? For Diggs, the road ahead is uncertain, but promising. A fresh start. A new system. A chance to remind the league who he is when healthy and motivated. For the Cowboys, this is another chapter in a season defined by transition and tough choices. And for the fans watching at home, wearing that star with pride, it's a reminder of why this team never stops being fascinating. Drama, legacy, hope, frustration, it all comes with the territory. So now I want to hear from you. Did the Cowboys handle this situation the right way? Was this tough love, or a misstep that could linger longer than expected? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button if this breakdown gave you a new perspective, and make sure you're subscribed, because in Dallas, the story is never over. No matter where you stand, one thing is certain. When it comes to the Cowboys, even Christmas isn't quiet. And the road ahead? It's going to be watched by the entire football world.